Whether you're an employee planning to switch jobs between different countries, an HR manager tasked with managing teams across two vastly different cultures, or an employer looking to expand your business to the other side of the globe, understanding the differences in HR practices across Western and Asian countries is crucial. In today's video, we'll explore these key differences in human resource management, dive into real-world examples, and even take a look at the unique variations within Asia itself. Stay tuned if you want to make informed HR decisions in a globalized world. Managing human resources varies dramatically across the world. Have you ever wondered how HR practices differ between Western countries like the US, UK, and Australia, and Asian countries like Japan, China, and Malaysia? In this video, we'll break down the major differences and give real-world examples of how companies adapt to these unique challenges. Let's start with the biggest factor: culture. In Western countries, individualism is a core value. Employees are often encouraged to voice their opinions and take initiative. On the other hand, many Asian countries are more collectivist. This means teamwork and group harmony are prioritized. Example, Western culture. Take Google, for example. In the US, Google promotes a culture where employees are encouraged to speak up in meetings, innovate, and even challenge their managers when necessary. This creates a dynamic and creative work environment, but it can also lead to open debates during discussions. Example, Asian culture. Now contrast that with a company like Toyota in Japan. Toyota's work culture emphasizes team collaboration, group decision-making, and respect for hierarchy. Workers are less likely to challenge superiors directly. Instead, communication flows through formal channels, and teamwork is crucial to maintaining harmony. Leadership styles are also a key difference. Western leaders often take a more egalitarian approach. They see themselves as facilitators, encouraging collaboration and providing autonomy. Example, Western leadership. Let's look at Netflix. Netflix's leadership style in the US is based on freedom and responsibility. Employees are given a lot of freedom to make decisions and take risks, as long as they meet their responsibilities. Leaders act more as mentors than strict bosses. Example, Asian leadership. On the flip side, in a company like Samsung in South Korea, leadership tends to be more hierarchical. Decisions are often made at the top and then filtered down the chain. Employees respect authority and seniority, and there's a clear chain of command that shapes how decisions are implemented. Work-life balance also reflects cultural differences. In Western countries, it's common to see flexible work arrangements and policies that emphasize mental health and personal time. Example, Western work-life balance. Companies like Salesforce in the US actively promote work-life balance with programs like wellness weeks, mental health days, and flexible remote work options. This helps employees maintain both their professional and personal lives. Example, Asian work-life balance. In contrast, countries like Japan are known for karoshi, which means death by overwork. While this extreme is rare, it shows that many Asian companies value dedication to the company, sometimes at the expense of personal time. But change is happening. For instance, in China, Alibaba has introduced work-life balance initiatives to combat the infamous 996 work culture, working from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. Let's talk about compensation and benefits. Western countries tend to tie compensation to performance, with a focus on bonuses, promotions, and stock options. Example, Western compensation. Take Facebook, for example. Employees in the US are rewarded based on individual performance, with stock options being a key part of their compensation package. Promotions are often tied to measurable achievements. Example, Asian compensation. In contrast, companies like Tata in India often have seniority-based pay structures, where long service with the company leads to incremental pay raises and benefits. There's also more focus on loyalty bonuses and job security rather than individual performance alone. Communication styles also vary widely. In Western countries, direct communication is valued, with employees encouraged to give feedback openly. Example, Western communication. In the UK, companies like Unilever promote open communication by regularly soliciting feedback from employees through surveys, town halls, and one-on-one meetings. Employees feel comfortable speaking their minds. Example, Asian communication. In Asian countries like Malaysia, communication tends to be more indirect. Employees may avoid directly confronting their bosses or expressing dissatisfaction in public. For example, in companies like Petronas, feedback may be given privately or through formal channels, respecting the hierarchy. Labor laws and regulations can also differ significantly between the two regions. In Western countries, labor laws are generally stricter with strong protections for employee rights. Example, Western labor laws. In countries like Australia, labor laws are very employee-friendly. Companies must adhere to strict regulations regarding minimum wage, work hours, and anti-discrimination laws. For instance, companies like Qantas follow rigid employee protection laws that ensure fair treatment. Example, Asian labor laws. However, in some Asian countries like Vietnam, labor laws are still developing. Companies may have more flexibility in hiring and firing, and unions may not be as powerful. Yet, there are improvements in countries like South Korea, where labor laws have strengthened over the past decade. Now, even though we've grouped Asian countries together, it's important to recognize that there are significant differences between countries like Japan, Thailand, and Malaysia in terms of managing human resources. Example for Japan. As mentioned earlier, Japan's workplace culture is heavily influenced by hierarchy and seniority. The concept of lifetime employment is still prevalent in some traditional companies. Workers tend to stay with one employer for most of their careers, and loyalty is highly valued. However, this can sometimes lead to long working hours and intense commitment to the company. Companies like Toyota and Sony have adapted by encouraging structured decision-making and prioritizing team success. Example, Thailand. Thai workplaces tend to be more relaxed and focused on maintaining harmony, but respect for hierarchy is still important. Unlike Japan, where long hours are common, Thai employees tend to seek a balance between work and personal life. In companies like CP Group and Thai Airways, there's a greater focus on work-life balance, and communication tends to be more informal compared to Japan. Example, Malaysia offers a mix of influences from both Western and Eastern cultures due to its diverse population. Respect for hierarchy is still important, but companies are adopting more modern practices like flexible work arrangements and performance-based promotions. Many companies in Malaysia are leading the way in integrating both traditional values and contemporary management styles. Additionally, Malaysia's labor laws, such as those regulating the Employee Provident Fund (EPF) and SOC-SO contributions, are very well defined and emphasize employee welfare. Lastly, payroll could be one of the major items too. Western countries are commonly paid on weekly or bi-weekly basis, and it is common to work as part-time or contractor. While in Asia, except for blue-collar, most employees will be paid on monthly basis. So, as you can see, managing human resources is shaped by local cultures, leadership styles, and legal frameworks. Whether you're working in a Western or an Asian company, understanding these differences can help create a more productive and harmonious workplace. Which approach do you think is more effective? So, as you can see, even within Asia, human resource management can vary widely. Whether it's the strict hierarchy of Japan, the balanced approach of Thailand, or the fusion of traditional and modern practices in Malaysia, each country brings its unique approach to managing people. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more insights on global HR practices. That's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more insights on global HR practices.